Pokemon Alt Arts, I think we can all agree they are some of the nicest cards that Pokemon have produced from the Sun and Moon era to the Sword and Shield era, and hopefully when we come into Scarlet and Violet we're going to see some Alt Arts coming back, because I really want to see them. We've already checked through what's been going on in the Sword and Shield Alt Arts, and to be honest guys, they have been dropping pretty much across the board. Only very few are holding their value, like the Alt Art Gengar VMAX from Fusion Strike and the Alt Art Machamp from Astral Radiance, but pretty much all the rest, including the Moonbryon, have been dropping across the board. So that is what has been going on with Sword and Shield. Today though, we're going to be taking a look at Sun and Moon, because the Alt Arts in Sun and Moon have been doing the opposite. There has been a big boom happening over the past few months. Is it starting to go down, or is it continuing that rise to the moon? Well, we're going to find out right now. Alright guys, Alt Arts, Sun and Moon, they're expensive. I'm just saying it now, they are very, very expensive. And they look like they're going to be going to new heights. Pretty much across the board. There are some not so much, but there are some that are doing very, very well. Now, Alt Arts came into Sun and Moon towards the end of the Sun and Moon era. So today we'll be taking a look at TCG Player, at what's been going on in some of the latest sets of the Sun and Moon era, to see how well these Alt Arts have been doing, because yeah, they're pretty pricey. So hopefully you have some of these cards. Strap in and let's get into it. Alright, starting off with Cosmic Eclipse. I love Cosmic Eclipse. It's one of my favorite all-time Sun and Moon era sets, and there are a ton of fantastic cards. Booster boxes are getting more expensive, packs are getting more expensive. It's crazy. First off, we have the Arceus, Dialga and Palkia GX Tag Team Art. This is like the statue artwork. This is absolutely incredible card, like really, really nice indeed. And yeah, let's take a look at this, guys. As you can see guys, $223. Over the past 3 months, this card has gone from 175 to 223. Okay, that's incredible. In 3 months, that is nuts. We go back 6 months and we can see this card go from 120 up to, so again, $100 in the last 6 months. There was a big boom that came out of nowhere, and it's affected like all of the tag team Alt Arts pretty much across the board. We go back a year and we can see that the card didn't go up that much, right? So we went from September, let's say 6 months, we're going to say March, so it went by about $30 over 6 months, right? So from September 2022 to March, about 6-7 months, we're looking at around about $30 to $40 roughly. Nothing super crazy, steady growth, which is to be expected, right? However, like we said, in the last 6 months, going from 120 to now 220, going up 100 in the next 6 months, it's just really taken off. Is it going to drop? We'll have to wait and see. Carrying on with Cosmic Eclipse, we have the Blastoise and Piplup GX Alt Art. Now I have the rainbow of this, which did get PSA 10, which I'm happy with, and I do like the rainbow, but this one was also really sweet. I just love tag team cards in general. I really want Pokemon to bring them back in maybe the next generation, or at least soon, because that would be amazing. $134 for this card, so not as much as the last one we just saw, but we're still looking at a pretty decent price, right? Anything over $100 is really good. I know obviously that booster packs are really expensive, but still it's doing pretty well. $135. So over the past 3 months it went up by about $30, so this one hasn't jumped up anywhere near as much as fast. We go back 6 months though, this is what I'm talking about. So we're looking at about $70, now $134, so nearly double. So it's nearly doubled in value over the last 6 months. It's just really shot up, and it is quite interesting. And we go back a year. Okay, so again, we're seeing this trend, guys. So between September and March, it went from $42 to around about $65. So we're looking around about $20 or so, maybe $20 to $25 over the 6 months. Again, steady growth. But as we saw over the past 6 months, bang, doubled in value. And the last one we got from Cosmic Eclipse today, we have the Mega Lopunny and Jigglypuff GX. I haven't really seen this one, to be fair. This isn't one that's been on my radar that much, but looking at the artwork, I like it. I actually do like it. So this is actually more of, I say cheap, but it's at $80. It's the cheaper of the three, at least $80. 3 months ago we're looking at 67, so it hasn't really jumped any near as crazy. We go back 6 months, let's take a look, right? $40 to now $80, doubled in price. We go back a year, so we'll take a look again. So September 25, and then what, March, we're looking around 40. So it went about $15 over 6 months, and then from 40 to 80 over the past 6 months. It does look like it is settling to some degree. You know, we can see it not really going up as much. It's kind of settling over the past 3 months compared to the 3 months before it, you know. So is it going to stay as it is? Is it going to start to dip? It may do. It might start going up. I kind of feel like all of these older cards now, because they're getting so much harder to get hold of and the booster packs are so expensive, booster boxes are so expensive, that a lot of these cards might start to continue to go up. Okay, on to Unified Minds. We have the Raichu and Alolan Raichu GX, and this card's done crazy bits. It's nearly the most expensive card in the set, which is yeah, quite impressive. We're looking at $183, going from 137, so nearly gained $50 already in the past 3 months. We go back 6 months and we can see from 70, this is nearly tripled in value. From 70 to 185, it's on the route to tripling in value. That is absolutely crazy. Right, we go back a past year. I'm intrigued at this one. So we look at 48, all right, and then they say March, we look at 70. What, maybe like $20, $20 to $25? It's gone up like 6 months. Very nice, steady growth. Guys, look at this chart. Look at this. It's just absolutely bonkers. What is going on? Like, this is an example of, you know, is it inflated hype? I think so. I do think so. This isn't natural. It's just not natural. We've seen the natural growth, okay, for the first 6 months, and then for the previous 6 months. This is not just normal organic growth. This is, you know, build it up hype man extreme for these to go these prices, and you know, it is ridiculous. I would like to see them go down in value so people can actually pick them up at what I would say would be a normal, reasonable price. But we'll have to wait and see. Right, Mega, Sableye, and Tyranitar. I know it's going down. So we have the art again from Unified Minds. Now I had this in a PSA 9, so I bought it raw. I think I bought it raw for 35. I think it might have been £35, and then it got graded as a PSA 9, and it's not really worth a huge amount of PSA 9. And I sold it for, I don't know, 65, 70, something like that. So I technically doubled my money. You know what I paid for. Unfortunately didn't get a 10, but now look at the raw price of this card. But the raw price is it's so all over the show. It really is. Even here in the UK, I've been seeing like raw price of these sell for, you know, anywhere between, you know, 60 to 70 pounds to 170 pounds or whatever. It's just bonkers. As we can see, this card has gone from 160. It did go to nearly 180 and is now dropping back down to 170, which is actually pretty crazy. We go back over the last 6 months, and this is where this boom happened again. This kind of inflated hype has pushed all the old arts up, and I hope that we'll get this, what we've seen here, where it's starting to dip and maybe start going back to normal levels. Hopefully we'll see that with some of the others, because we go back over the past year, and this is what I'm saying. So I bought mine. Wow, I must have bought one back last year. I think it might have been at the, you know, maybe what, September, maybe August, September time. So I bought it here for about $50. I bought it for £35, which is a pretty good deal, right? So I got it for a really good price. And you know, when it came back, what graded, it came back January, maybe around that time. So, you know, raw price there was only $73. So it's only gone up a little bit, you know, hasn't really gone up a huge amount. And then, like I say, over the past 6 months, like we've seen with all the others, then it started to hit that massive boom. So, I mean, it looks like it's on the way down. You know, we go back over the past month, it's dropping, and hopefully we can see it continue to drop moving forward. Slowpoke and Psyduck this time, again from Unified Minds, another big LR, $110. We're looking at 100 to, you know, around 110. Starting to dip a bit. Maybe this is a sign. We go back 6 months, and again, we've seen this card nearly double in value. Not quite double, but getting there. Then we go back over the past year. Look at this, it was $35. We look at 35 again from like September to March. We're looking at, you know, maybe a $25 increase. Nice natural growth, and like the others, it's starting to go. But we've seen a lot of these already, all right, in this video, where a lot of them, apart from the Alolan Raichu, are kind of plateauing. Maybe some, you know, some are also starting to dip. Maybe we're going to see that for a lot of them when they start to dip. Have to keep an eye on it. And then finally, Unified Minds, we have the Rowlet and the Alolan Exeggutor art. Now this one's not that expensive compared to some of the others at $65. Clearly not a massively, you know, popular and expensive one. It went from 53 to 65, and then over the past 6 months we've seen it go from 40 to 60, so nowhere near as much. Still 50%, but nowhere near as much as some of the others. And you know, even like overall, like, it doesn't sound like a lot going from 25 to 65, but it's nearly tripled in value over the past year. So this is one of the cheaper alternate artworks that you can pick up. But it did actually grow quite a bit from 25 to, I would say, around that 40. You know, that's not too bad, you know, in the grand scheme of things. And then it's again started to pick up as well. So again, that's another one that keeps going up, but it's not as expensive. All right, big money card. We're on to Unbroken Bonds, Gardevoir and Sylveon GX. I really want this. Now, I actually saw this. Now, when I picked up that Mega Sableye and Trantar back last year, I saw this. I think this must have been about £50, £55. Back then, I was like, I'm an hour in whether or not I wanted to pick it up. Let's take a look. $240. Yeah, I kind of regret not picking up. $240. And it went from 190, so it was already quite high, going up to that 240. We go back 6 months, and then we can see 127. You know, nearly, well, gained over $100 in the last 6 months. We go back a year, which is when I was looking at it. There we are. Look, roughly around $76. Like I say, it was about £55, and I didn't pick it up. I do regret not picking it up because I absolutely love Sylveon and I do like Gardevoir as well. So, you know, will I want to get this again? To be honest, I probably missed a boat on it. Let's be fair. Unless it drops, I'm not really going to bother that much at picking this one up. But it has gone up quite a bit because even then, you're looking at what, $76 in March, 127. So it did drop up quite a bit. But this spike is just absolutely ridiculous. So yeah. Big card in Unbroken Bonds. We're carrying on with Unbroken Bonds. We have the Greninja and the Zoroark GX OR. And again, this one is much cheaper than the Gardevoir and Sylveon at $95. Hasn't quite reached 100. Over the past 3 months, it's kind of just stayed quite steady. To be fair, it's only gone up like a couple of dollars. We go back 6 months, and compared to some of the others, this isn't the greatest. I mean, still 50% is 50%, right? But it's still nowhere near as crazy as some of the others. And we go over the past year, however, look at that, guys. It has just stayed. Over the past year, it has gone up. This isn't correct. It says $46. As we know, it's not. It's $95. But it was $34. So it has basically nearly tripled in value. Again, big money card. Pheromosa and Boswell EX. Look at this guy coming in. Oh, up. $43. Again, another cheap one coming in here. Not massively expensive. Over the past 3 months, it's only gone up by like $2-3. Nothing to break the bank on that one. Over the past 6 months, gone from 34. I mean, it's gained $10. Not great. And then the past year, I mean, it's not bad actually. It went from $13, which is a very cheap alt art, to go up to that 44. So, you know, it's gone up by like what, 3 times the value, which is actually pretty good going. You know, and this is what I'm saying. Maybe we might see that with some of the Sword and Shield ones where they're really cheap. They're maybe $15, and then over time they shoot up. You know, not crazy amounts like $200, $300, $400, but even just tripling in value is very, very good. Then we got my all-time favorite chase card. Obviously I don't have it, I want it, and that is the Latios and Latias GX from Team Up. Okay, so $830. This is absolutely bonkers, and it went from $590, right, and definitely well overtaken the Umbreon. We go back 6 months and we can see this card $418. I mean, it's nearly doubled in value from $400. That is quite impressive. And then over the past year, so we look, it was already expensive anyway, but we're looking at about $350, and then we go to that nice little March point. So from $350 to basically $420, gone up, but it's kind of natural, you know, progression. But look at this. This is what I mean. This is the hype machine going crazy here. So that's one thing to look out for. This is ridiculously difficult to get from Team Up, so I do expect it to be more than most other alt arts, but this is quite crazy. But at the moment, yeah, this is a pretty expensive card. In some places it can go up to $1,000, you know, raw, so it does depend on the condition. Then we've got another one, and we've got the next one from Team Up. We've got the Gengar and Mimikyu. This one's done bits as well. It really has. I mean, we're looking at about $340, you know, we've gone from $285, so it's kind of gone up by maybe $40+ or more. And then over the last 6 months, this is what I'm talking about. Like the last 6 months has done incredibly well. To go from 180 to nearly doubling in value, you know, and doubling in value in at that price point is very, very impressive. And then over the past year, so again, we're looking at $90 to begin with, and then we see March, we're looking at 181. It's already doubled in value, which is very, very impressive for a card to do that compared to some of the others that we've seen already. But then for it to double again, nuts. It is from Team Up, so it's going to be very difficult to get, but incredible. Then we have the Magikarp and Wailord GX. Now let's take a look at this one. Nearly $300 again for this one. Pretty pricey. We go back 3 months, we're looking at $250, so basically getting about $40, $50. Then we look at, you know, 6 months 167. So it's gained $130 in the past 6 months, which is very, very impressive. So basically, nearly doubled in value as well, which is very, very impressive. Then we go back a year. So we look at that, we're looking at $70 at that March point. It's already gained more than double. So it's already doing really well compared to some of the others. Again, it's team up, really tough to get hold of. And then look, it just had that massive spike. Now with the team up cards, I do see them holding additional value and staying strong compared to the others, just because it was very short printed. Booster boxes are very hard to get hold of, they're very expensive, and that would be why these cards are so pricey. There you have it, guys. That's what's been going on in the Sun and Moon era with alt arts. They're doing obviously way better than the Sword and Shield ones, but however, it does give us some hope that the Sword and Shield ones might actually follow suit in the long run, because like we said, just because a card is maybe gone from $10 to now $40, you're like, oh yeah, but it's not like a $500 card. It's still 4x its value, which is ridiculously good. We've seen that with some of the Sun and Moon era ones. Some of the more cheaper ones that were around that $20, $30 and now looking at $80, $90. They're the ones you need to look out for, because they're the ones where you really have done very well. Now, some of the other Sun and Moon era ones are already high. For them to double in the past year is very, very impressive. And some of them have even doubled within the past 6 months. Now, is this all natural and organic growth? No, these have been hyped up to the absolute max, and the market has reacted to it. Same with the waifu cards. We're going to get into the waifu cards in another video, so you guys can really see the effects of people kind of pumping cards or just hyping up these cards. Don't get me wrong, alt arts are amazing. They do look amazing, and in my opinion, I think they look way better than 90% of the waifu cards or full art trainer cards. I just think alt arts are very unique, very nice, and they just smash it out of the park with some of the artworks. And we've seen that in the Sword and Shield era, and I think we're going to start to see it in Scarlet and Violet. Will they bring in alt arts? I think they will, but already the artwork in Scarlet and Violet is very good. That's what's happening in the Sun and Moon. Let me know down in the comments, guys, what are your thoughts on the Sun and Moon market? Do you think this is all being pushed up, hype machine going crazy, or do you think this is just the way it was meant to be? Let me know down in the comments. But if you made this far into the video, guys, and you've enjoyed it, make sure to smash the like button and make sure to subscribe for more Pokemon content. If you want to know about too many reprints affecting Crown Zenith, then make sure to click on this video right here. And if you want more Pokemon content, guys, you know what to do. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Alright, guys, that's it for me in this video. As always, you guys are legends, and I'll see you in the next one.